people were killed. When I woke up this morning and I got the story of what happened, the first seven calls I put across were all killed. The first 7 guys I called,
you tried to call, were all dead.
Exactly. They were all dead. So in my village today, if you speak to someone, just be very rest assured that in the next 1 week or 2 weeks, you hear the sad news about that person you've just spoken to. And do you know, before now, just last month, about 20 people were killed in that same village. My late father's friend, my father died 2 years ago in 2023. My late father's friend, a retired army officer, was killed. This is somebody who has served Nigeria, who has retired and is in the village. And this monstrous servant of devil just came in and hacked him to death with his two children. Today, I saw visuals of the stores where people were killed. Let me tell you, in 3 of the stores, about 40 people were each of, about 6 of the stores had about 40 people. So when they came, it was raining. When they came, there was a guy who was selling fuel by the side. He took off when he sighted them. He left the fuel. They used the fuel. They poured the fuel all around those houses, locked the doors, and set the houses on fire. Each of these rooms had about 40 human beings.
Village, because they feel it was peaceful to sleep.
Exactly. My village is on the federal highway, for goodness sake. Those guys, those monsters barricaded the federal highway for up to 5 hours. 5 hours. It's on the federal highway. So it's not a village that you say, oh, it's a little bit in the hinterland. It's on the federal highway, Makudi to Lafia federal highway, dualized federal highway. They blocked it for 5 hours. And they killed everybody who is just merely 20 meters off the road. They destroyed houses that were 20. So the houses that were left spared were houses that were directly facing the road. Destroyed produce, destroyed property, killed the people. A family has lost over 20 different, like the woman who just spoke. She said they killed her mother and 3 of her siblings and 5 of her children. There are lots of these kind of numbers. Yeah, the woman who just spoke. Yeah.
That's what she was saying.
Yeah, that was what she was. Yes, she said. Let me quote her verbatim. What she said in TIF. She said, "Fulani just invaded Yerwata. That's my village. That's the name of the village. Fulani just invaded Yerwata, and they killed my mom and killed 5 of my siblings and 3 of my children." I had my law degree in the University of Northumbria in Newcastle, United Kingdom. When I was in the United Kingdom, there was a shooting somewhere in Newcastle where only 1 person was killed. Prime Minister Gordon Brown reacted that very day. Today, every day in Yerwata, people be dying. Today, over 200. No reaction from. They've taken us as expendables. Expendables. Those are a pharmacist who just graduated from the University of Jos and did his housemanship in Kano. Just came home 2 weeks ago and he was killed last night. After spending 5 years in the University of Jos studying pharmacy, he finished, he went for housemanship. He finished and came back to the village 2 weeks ago, and yesterday he was killed. They have large expanse of land.
What do you think? What do you think the provocation may be with the Ifyo? Because I sense that you're talking about the Fulanis now. What do you think the provocation may be?
They are the Fulani, and it's not ethnic profiling. They are the Fulani. It's not ethnic profiling. When people want to be politically correct, they will say no. That is an ethnic. It's not, and that is why you see the Sultan of Sokoto will not react to this. He reacted when just about 11 people were butchered were killed in Edo State. The so-called hunters. They reacted. They put up Northern Elders Forum. They made several press conferences. Many governors stood up. The governor of Edo had to travel to some of these states to go and say sorry, because that is the collective agenda. Jihad and the complete takeover of the land of our people. And let me tell you, so I'm saying it authoritatively. I'm an authority in this area. I was born and raised in Jos. I speak Hausa as my first language. I speak Hausa better than I speak Tiv. From my nursery to my primary was in the former Plateau, and then my secondary, former Plateau, but now Nasarawa, got the prestigious government college. Nasarawa State. So most of my friends are from Nasarawa State. And let me tell you, this thing they call intelligence. We are the sources of this intelligence. The government sometimes use the narrative of intelligence to confuse you, as if what they know is different. They know exactly what we know, or we even know better, because we are the sources of this intelligence. Many of my friends from the adjoining villages in Nasarawa State who attacked, they told us day before yesterday. We communicated to the security forces. Nothing has been done.
Because this is too much to rush. I'm sorry. Are you saying that you got an intelligence report as a civilian? Your
Yes.
community had an intelligence report about this particular attack that killed.
When people want to be politically correct, they will say, no, that is an ethnic. It's not, and that is why you see the Sultan of Sokoto. Do you understand? So they did a systematic military precision. Other groups were there executing, while these other guys were engaged with our guys. So the guy that were apprehended was able to open up. He said, look, guys, we have some of the moles from Giza, some of the other ethnic group in Giza, and then the soldiers, some soldiers came with us. Because for them, it's an agenda. And let me tell you, the soldiers in Yerwata did not respond. There's a base for soldiers in Yerwata unit. None reacted when these jihadists came. It was the police and the highway patrol.
So
and
can
they
I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
If eventually everyone in your community perhaps disappears and runs away from the community, what happens?
They take over, because they've done that to villages, adjoining villages.
Are you saying that there are villages that are taking over by Fulanis right now in Benue State?
Right now, there are a lot of tea villages in my council ward that have been taken over by Fulani. They take over not just for grazing, but for proper settlement.
You're saying that there are villages that are taking over by Fulanis right now in Benue State?
Right now, there are a lot of. Right now, there are a lot of tea villages in my council ward that have been taken over by Fulani. They take over not just for grazing, but for proper settlement. You go to these villages today, you find even their kids crawling, small kids who are yet to start walking. They brought them, their families, occupying thief homes, thief houses, which are still standing, occupying those houses. And they have their kids there, not just their cattle. So it's not all about open grazing prohibition. It's about total takeover of the land. Nasarawa State does not have open grazing prohibition law, but people have been killed in Nasarawa State. People have been killed.
What's your governor doing about this? I don't remember that former governor Utom was vocal about this. But what is governor doing about it?
Right, I don't know.
He said that there are systematic killings that are sponsored by politicians. He even threatened he was going to name the politicians involved in this. That some of them are in Abuja.
I don't know about the killings in other places. But my sister, the killings in Yerwata, in Nyef Council Ward, my council ward, the biggest council ward in Guma local government, and in Guma local government, 100% Fulani. 100%. I don't know the information the governor has about other local government. And if anybody, any leader, whether at the local government level or state level or federal level, described the killing in Guma local government, in Yerwata village, or in Nyef Council Ward as a Fulani, as farmer, the most abused phrase I've ever heard about farmers' headers crisis. If anybody describe that and that person is thief, then know that that person is either of these three: 1, an accomplice; 2, a traitor; 3, a coward.
Why do you say that word is the most abused word?
Yes, because they use it. They use it carelessly. Farmer headers. My cousin Telumun Ze, that was killed yesterday in his sleep, that was butchered in his sleep and burnt. At what point was he fighting headers? My friend Peter Akira, who lost his wife and his only 4 children. That is a boy. That is a guy whom, after he got married, he had to wait for 4 years for the fruit of the womb. He and his wife waited for 4 years, and God blessed them. On the 4th occasion of their wedding, they got a kid, and then 2 years later, they got twins, and then 2 years later, they got another guy. So they got 4 kids. Those guys were wiped out completely. So at what point were those guys fighting with the headers? So why would you describe that as farmers' headers crisis? So it's the most abused, in short, it's the most insultive phrase I've ever heard in my whole life. Yerota has a population of just about 3,000 people. That village, about 3,000 people, and about more than 200 were killed. When I woke up this morning and I got the story of what happened, the first 7 calls I put across were all killed. The first 7 guys I called,
you tried to call, were all dead.
Exactly, they were all dead. So in my village today, if you speak to someone, just be very rest assured that in the next 1 week or 2 weeks, you hear the sad news about that person you've just spoken to. And do you know, before now, just last month, about 20 people were killed in that same village. They are the Fulani, and it's not ethnic profiling. They are the Fulani, it's not ethnic profiling. When people want to be politically correct, they will say, no, that is an ethnic, it's not, and that is why you see the Sultan of Sokoto will not react to this. He reacted when just about 11 people were butchered were killed in Edo State, the so-called hunters. They reacted. They put up Northern Elders Forum. They made several press conferences. Many governors stood up. The governor of Edo had to travel to some of these states to go and say sorry. Just 11 hunters, that is alleged hunters, if really they were hunters, who were killed. Now, nobody in the north is speaking because that is the collective agenda, jihad, and the complete takeover of the land of our people. And let me tell you, so I'm saying it authoritatively, I'm an authority in this area. I was born and raised in Jos. I speak Hausa as my first language. I speak Hausa better than I speak Tiv. And let me tell you, this thing they call intelligence. We are the sources of this intelligence. The government sometimes use the narrative of intelligence to confuse you, as if what they know is different. They know exactly what we know, or we even know better, because we are the sources of this intelligence. Many of my friends from the adjoining villages in Nasarawa State, who are of different ethnic group other than the Fulanis, anytime the Fulanis are mobilizing, like this attack, they told us day before yesterday. We communicated to the security force. Nothing has been done.
No, just hold on, because this is too much to rush. I'm sorry. Are you saying that you got an intelligence report as a civilian? Your
Yes.
community had an intelligence report about this particular attack that killed over 200 people, and you.
My sister, do you know the funny thing? It is no longer secret. It's just like the secret cultism in Nigeria. They gathered their AK-47 in a community called Giza in Nasarawa State, in the boundary between Nasarawa and Benue, in Giza and Kadorko. All our friends from there, and they come out in the open with their this and they hold a meeting openly. You know, they are going to strike in Hirota, and then some people begin to bid them farewell. Allah Allah, may God take you safely. May God take you safely. Yes, they came in more than 100 bikes. Listen, but that is how your country has degenerated. That these things are done in broad daylight. It has degenerated. And let me tell you, let me also shock you. About 7 soldiers, I'm saying it as it is, about 7 soldiers joined them from the Giza, the community, adjoining my own village. They arrested one who uttered all this, made this confession. He said some of the soldiers from Giza trained them of Fulani ethnic stock, and they joined them. They commandeered the whole thing. So what they did yesterday was extremely tactical and strategic with military precision. Right now, there are a lot of tea villages in my council ward that will be taken over by Fulani.
Farmer headers clash, deceiving climate change is the cause, pushing this narrative to the world. An international community will be thinking that it's actually farmer headers clash, not knowing that this is our own lies, that these are jihadist terrorist Fulanis with RPG, GMPG, drones coming out to cleanse, a whole community for them to take over. And what is actually surprising me is that you see the main media also helping to circulate and push this narrative, farmer headers clash, when they actually know the truth. And let me say it here, any those main media, both in television and radio, calling this farmer headers clash again, I pray and I wish that your own blood, your own children will be involved in this fight, so that you feel the pain of those that are being eyed. Yes, call it farmer headers clash again. May your own blood, children, be involved in this fight, so that you feel the pain. Look at a whole family wiped away. I'm sleeping in my own community, in my own house. You use your weapons, sophisticated weapons, enter my community and wipe everybody away. And you're still calling it farmers headers clash. How can you call it farmer headers clash? What is a clash? Am I in my sleep coming out to clash with you? Even why are they even calling it farmer header clash? Am I not in my land? And you carry your own cattle business to come and destroy my own farm, and I should keep quiet? Am I in the same? Are you from my place? Are you from my land? Can I go to your land and do such? Why would you come to my land and destroy everything that I have, killing my generation, my children? In fact, this is so terrible. And you heard what this guy said, that about 7 soldiers are involved. One was caught, and that one has to confess what actually happened. We all remember what Danjuma said, the former general, that security officials have colluded. Security officials are bandits, are terrorists. If you keep quiet and want them to defend you, you all be taking one after the other till you all finish. Is it not what is happening? That people should rise up and defend your land. Form a strong vigilantes to defend your own land. Even DSS DG has come out to tell people, defend your land, that he's also helping his own community in Jabu to defend their own land. Why are people still keeping quiet and being butchered like even ant has value to humans in this country? Why are people just dying anyhow? You're still calling farmer headers clash. Anyway, let's continue watching. It's really painful, very painful. A whole community is wiped away. Under what? Under one night. Some they were saying over 200, but I heard somebody from that background say over 700 people were massacred under just a twinkle of an eye. I see some ndị Chineke ga-akpọ ọkụ, calling it farmers headers clash. May all this buying get to all of you one by one, calling it farmers headers clash. Please, let's finish up this. It's so, in fact, it's so really, oh my God. You know, the most painful aspect of this to me is that you even see sometimes their governor, that Reverend Father Tom politics, politician will come out calling it farmer headers clash in order to please his masters, in order to please his parties over his own people, over your own blood. You, Reverend Father Governor, you chose your party, your position, your governorship position over your own people. In see this, God, you will see what you have caused to yourself. No wonder you join politics in order to help to destroy your land. Please, let's finish up this clip. Please, by the way, did you even watch this governor, this Reverend Father Governor, when he was being interviewed in Arise Television? Did you hear him saying, when being asked question, he will be, thinking of what to say, the lie he will push out. You hear him, Imagine somebody that over 700 were massacred in his land. You ask him question, he will be, please let us finish.
They take over not just for grazing, but for proper settlement. You go to these villages today, you find even their kids crawling, small kids who are yet to start walking. They brought them, their families, occupying thief homes, thief houses, which are still standing, occupying those houses. And they have their kids there, not just their cattle. So it's not all about open grazing prohibition. It's about total tech.
Barrister Frank Otona, resident of Yelewata community, and good evening. I don't even know how to greet you. I don't even know if there's anything good about the evening. Sincere apologies for barging in on you and bringing you down here, but this is crazy. Please tell us what you know about this incident very quickly. I know you have to run.
What just happened last night was just pure evil, an unspeakable tragedy that no community should ever face. It was so cannibalistic. It was not just an act of terror. It was an act of genocide. It was calculated. It was systemic. And they've been doing it over and over and over again. And unfortunately, we've not felt the presence of government. The last time I was in Otom's administration as a principal special assistant to the governor, that was between 2019 to 2023. I'm right now a policy researcher in the University of Central Oklahoma in the United States. During the last election, this is very interesting. I want you to get this very, very, very clear. During the last election,
the 2023 election, you mean?
Yeah, the 2023, both the national and the state assembly elections. My people turned out en masse to vote for APC.
Oh my God! They're trying tear gas.
We will go back. We will go back. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, they may be right in their excuses. They said Otom was so loud, only loud about the Fulani killings. He wasn't taking action. So they need a government that will take action this time around. It will also interest you to know that the agent of APC in that election was killed last night. Telling me the agent of APC. Yes, a cousin of mine. I was just briefly angry against him that, look, bro, I'm your big brother. I'm standing here. I've never come to the village to campaign or to carry out political practices because you are all my siblings. So I feel that anytime I come and I send home a message that political alignment or political line, you have to join the queue without question. So you need people.
And he was just too loud.
Yeah, that he was just too loud. That was the description. And then you took this approach. And today, this is what has happened. So the government at every level, from the local government to the state to the federal government, has failed us. Today, the number they are giving you is underestimated.